Women's rights. Rights that promote a position of legal and social equality of women with men. Issues commonly associated with notions of women's rights include, though are not limited to, bodily integrity and autonomy, to vote, to hold public office, to work, to birth control, to have an abortion, to be free from rape, to fair wages or equal pay, to own property, to education, to serve in the military or be conscripted, to enter into legal contracts, and to have marital or parental rights. The first true strides were made in the women's rights movement starting on July 19th. The first day of the Seneca Falls Convention, Lucretia Mott, Susan B. Anthony, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton organized this convention to discuss the conditions of the rights of American women socially, civilly, and religiously, and to also create a declaration with the intent to demand equal rights. Women demanded rights to vote, to participate in Congress, to own property, to attend college, to participate in church affairs, rights to better terms in a divorce, more equal opportunity employment, and equal pay. Women in that time didn't have any of those rights, and some that we take for granted today. For example, Elizabeth Blackwell had to apply to over 20 colleges and universities before one accepted her, not because of her intelligence or merit did not meet the standards, it was her gender. Lucretia Mott is credited with being the first feminist because she was the initiator of the 19th century women's rights revolution. Of the 100 people who attended the Seneca Falls Convention, 2/3 were women, and that is where the modern women's rights movement began. Although these leaders, Mott, Anthony, Cady, and Moore, hoped to accomplish complete equality between men and women in America in all fields, they eventually had to narrow down their ambition and take it one step at a time. Their first step to acquire voting rights for all women. They attempted to lobby support for this issue and have women be included in the 14th and 15th Amendments, but they were unsuccessful. However, the turning point came in the late 1880s, when a surge of volunteerism for the movement began. A large group of the nation's middle-class women came forward with boundless determination, trying to bridge the gap between men and women in this country. For the next 2 decades, the National American Women's Suffrage Association worked tirelessly and focused all their effort to gaining women the right to vote. The first state to grant women complete voting rights was Wyoming in 1869, and then 3 more western states, Colorado, Idaho, and Utah, in the late 1980s. In the 1910s, suffragettes took on a more conventional style in promoting women's right to vote. Picketing, mass rallies, and marches became popular in order to raise public awareness and eventually support. Beginning in 1917, President Wilson, a convert to the suffrage cause, urged Congress to pass a voting rights amendment. Another crowning achievement also occurred that year when Montana's Jeannette Rankin, elected 2 years after her state enfranchised women, was sworn into the 65th Congress on April 2nd, as the first woman to serve in a national legislature. When the First World War began, women began to take a bigger role as workers and volunteers outside of the home, and the NAWSA publicly and fully embraced the war cause and used it to further promote their efforts. They insisted that the failure to grant women the right to vote might impede or discourage women from participating in the war. And the House of Representatives responded by initially passing the Voting Rights Amendment in January of 1918. It wasn't until after the war that the measure passed through both Congress and the House was approved. But on August 26, 1920, the 19th Amendment was ratified that gave women the right to vote nationwide. Today, gender bias continues to create huge barriers for many women. Ongoing struggles include ensuring equal economic opportunities, educational equity, and an end to gender-based violence. Some of the issues that arise from the effects of inequality today are that women still make just 78 cents for every dollar earned by men. Black women earn only 64 cents, and Latinas only 54 cents for each dollar earned by white men. The U.S. Department of Justice reports that approximately 1 in 4 homeless women is homeless because of the violence committed against her. Over 1,000 public schools, kindergarten through 12th grade, in the United States have single-sex education programs. Many rely on discredited science and gender stereotypes. A major social problem in many developing countries is the educational system. For women and girls in Afghanistan, attending schools has not been possible due to the forceful laws and control of the Taliban, which is a militant Islamic fundamentalist political group in Afghanistan. This devastating issue can be fixed by ensuring full participation of girls and women in education. America now ranks 98th in the world for percentage of women in its national legislature. Only 5 governors are women, including just 1 Democrat, and 24 states have never had a female governor. The percentage of women holding statewide and state legislative offices is less than 25%, barely higher than in 1993. Locally, 1/12 of our 100 largest cities have female mayors. The reality is that at the current glacial rate of progress, women won't achieve fair representation for nearly 500 years, says Cynthia Terrell, chair of Fair Votes Representation 2020 Project, which has released a new study of women's representation. Having more women in office not only upholds democratic values of fairness and representative government, but various studies have also shown that the presence of more women in legislatures makes a significant difference in terms of the policies that get passed. Women are almost half of the workforce. If they are the equal, if not main breadwinner in 4 out of 10 families, they receive more college and graduate degrees than men. Yet, on average, women continue to earn considerably less than men. In 2014, female full-time workers made only 79 cents for every dollar earned by men, a gender wage gap of 21%. Women, on average, earn less than men in virtually every single occupation, for which there is sufficient earnings data for both men and women to calculate on earnings ratio. Since the 1800s, women have gotten a smaller pay compared to men. This wage gap needs to be changed so that women can finally receive the rights they deserve. A lot of progress has been made in regard to this issue since the first women's rights movement, but there is still a lot to go. There is not one true solution that can fix all of the problems that contribute to the lasting gender inequality. But there are many things people can do to contribute. Speak for the cause, respect people based on their character, not their gender, and teach children, friends, and family how to be decent citizens of the world, and help fight gender inequality.